So 3 years ago, I got a call from Unilab and said we wanted to put up the foundation. There's something that's 30 years ago we've started. It's focused on senior citizens, but we want to build something that's focused on health. And I said, okay, how can I refuse that? Like to have a foundation started from scratch, build on the strength of 30 years, focus on health, let's do it. So there we said, Unilab Foundation will be a foundation that's focused on holistic health. When we speak of holistic health, we speak of physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. This spiritual, we mean something that's connected to somebody bigger than yourself, not necessarily religion. For a lot of people, that's religion. The circuit is actually based on the traditional medicine wheel. The Indian tradition of the medicine wheel says the balance. You are healthy if you are balanced, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And thus, that is the core of our foundation. With our vision, it says we want to build a healthier Philippines. It's a healthier Philippines, it's a better Philippines. Focus on the marginalized, poor in resources and poor opportunity. Not give the resources, we enable resources. But I'd like to focus on this poor in opportunities because it's precisely what we're working on now. And when we say poor in opportunities, what we'd like to build is actually an inclusive society. And the inclusive society includes persons with disabilities, whether it's health-related, physiological, emotional, mental, or physical lack. And those who lack them are marginalized. We want to be instrumental in naming a Philippines that's embracing of all differences and embracing of a whole being. Because our long-term outcome, let's go back to Yago. Back to the conversation that I was having with Mike Baca. I said, Mike, here's the offer. Don't move to the US. Don't move to the US because we can build a more inclusive Philippines. We can build a Philippines that by the time Yago is 18, we would want him and all other kids to have more options. He did not choose to be born with DS, and nobody chose to be born with autism. But certainly we can make things more possible for them to have options, to have opportunities, to become fully themselves, and to contribute in ways only they uniquely can. So I told Mike, wow, don't go, kasi pumunta ka na naman sa US and then you avail of all the other opportunities there for people with DS. What will happen here? You have the capability to change the society. It is an invitation to embrace everybody like Yago. Everybody, whether with Downs or autism, to be embraced fully by society because they are different but not less. That's our mantra. Different but not less. Of course, courtesy of Temple Grandin, who lived with autism and actually succeeded to change the world. I gave Perla, the friend I was telling you, the movie of Temple Grandin as a Christmas present, and the entire family watched it. So it begs profusely. And going back to Tim, I was struck by his picture, which actually said, look at the background, it said, I'm more like you than different. And so this work is not about differences. The work that we have is about similarities. It's about finding our common humanity and working on that. That is what Project Inclusion is all about. Project Inclusion is a Unilab Foundation project that aims to build a more inclusive society, beginning with where we are. And let's just start with the most childhood conditions. There's a growing number. One is to 800 for Downs and one is to 88 for autism. Of the Philippine population is autism and Down. A lot of them grow into adulthood, finding difficulty being integrated in society. Some of them are hidden at home. And so their world, instead of expanding, is being constricted as they get older. And what we'd like to build is for all of them to have a chance to have a happy and fulfilling life. I actually wrote that. It says where they can say, I am a normal part of society. My parents don't have to hide me. I am able to share my stories. I can build my self-worth. I have education options. I can learn to live on my own and be independent. I am productive. I have employment options. I am not a charity case. I can do something that is of value, and I would add of contribution. I am respected and accepted in the society. I am embraced for the whole of who I am, for the whole of me. I am subject to the same life standards, and I can choose to be who I want to be. And the last line is something that I always told myself and measure off, that we know we are an inclusive society. If everyone, every single person, regardless of ability or disability, would be able to say, I am valued, I belong, and I make a difference. I make a difference for the whole of who I am. So we did a small survey. Ask the employers, would you employ a person with disability? Some companies are willing and able. Some are willing but not able. And of course, some are not willing and not able. Some of them say it's too difficult. It's too difficult, I have a lot of things to do, I'm chasing a lot of targets, and this is something I cannot address right now. So it was informal. But it was indicative. And Grant, who's heading this project in the business, actually said, was initially quite dismayed. And I said, no, that's really good, because you know why? At least they're honest. At least you know what the truth is. It's the first step to courageous conversation. I've done diversity and inclusion all over the world, and the most difficult to do is in the US and in the UK, because they will not tell you what they really feel. Because they would feel judged. Because it's not politically correct. Now, if everybody says it's says things that are politically correct, but not internally understood, then we'll never get this forward. So, how will we change that picture? We have a proposition. Let's address it in a way that we say it's good for the business, it's good for the business organization, and it's good for the PWD